I remember, like, we had a city tree job during COVID, and we're like, we had to have meetings. We're like, okay, nobody can be within 6 feet of each other, and people are going to be at their house taking fucking pictures of you and putting them on Facebook because they have nothing else to do. Like, they're going to be ragging on you the whole time. Like it was
Yeah.
just awful, right? Like you're trying to backfill a tree and cut the bag open and stuff, and two people are like arms distance away, and it's like, oh, you guys can't do that, like just bonkers. Like we're out here trying to get a tree job done, and people are taking pictures of us. My God, what a time to be alive.
I remember the first job we did after the lockdown. The lockdown. We like we had a table. We actually were working for my buddy Chris Ray, and we had like a table where we all signed in every day, and you had to like sign in, and then there were certain bathroom procedures, and like I remember like a FedEx guy went in the bathroom, and that was like you can't go in the fucking back because there was no bathrooms back then. But the FedEx guy wasn't. So yeah, I got to get him to sign in because he used the bathroom, but we got to do contact tracing. And what if the bathroom's infected by the fucking FedEx guy? Again, FedEx ain't sending no money for this episode. I was fucking. I was so crazy.
Well, they can send us money as long as it's less than $12
I
million
remember
dollars.
we had a job we went and did during the lockdown. Like during the actual lockdown, we worked for one of the weeks because we were working on some municipal water plant. So it
Mm.
was a lot. It was because it was a municipal water plant. We had to go there, and I remember like us going to this like it was like a corner of Cawthra Road and something, and it's this like municipal water thing, and we were there building walls, but the whole world was like fucking shut down. There was no planes, no fucking. And we got to get these walls built. Fuck yeah! I remember trying not to touch anything, and then being like going to the gas station and being like, okay, I got to put my credit card in. I got to pull that out, but I can't touch this. Uh oh. And then I remember literally being at the gas station going, I don't give a fuck if I die. Just putting the thing in, get my number, filling it up with gas. I was like, this is fuck. I'd rather be
Yeah.
dead than doing this shit.
Ridiculous. All for naught.
Yeah. It's like people at the drive throughs pouring their coffees out. Fucking morons. That's all supposed to be coming back.
Is it?
Yeah.
We don't get the news. How do you know?
Right.
I don't know. Someone said it's
I
coming back.
I've heard glimpses of this, but then I'm like trying to find where are they putting masks back on? Where are they doing all this stuff? And I can't see anything because I can't see the goddamn news.
You're not allowed to see the news.
No,
You have to download the news app.
I'm not downloading any more apps. It's just like the fucking Arrive can.
I never
Is the
downloaded that app.
I did because I
No, I
went
didn't.
on vacation.
Oh, is that done? They don't.
Yeah,
I
that's
heard
Well,
that
they.
the developers way overcharged the taxpayers for that.
oh yeah, it was
Oh
like
yeah,
30 million or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it still exists. I think if you use it, it will help you get through the line faster, maybe.
Hmm.
yeah, maybe. I remember coming back from vacation. Like they would choose who gets a COVID test, right? Like
Yeah.
I was fine, my daughter was fine, my wife. They put a sticker on the back of her passport. She's got to go get a COVID test.
Oh,
It's like
really?
11:30 at night. It's freezing fucking cold in Montreal, and she's got to stop and get a Q-tip in the nose.
No.
Of all people, like she came here with us, and so what? If she has it, she's gonna stay home for a day. Like
It was like 3 days, wasn't it? Or a week or some shit.
I don't know because the rules were all up in the air at that point, and
It was definitely a mishandled situation.
yeah, it was
It was
just
almost like when I put the pool in our backyard. It was almost mishandled as poorly as that. You said you have questions, Chad,
yeah.
from the
Let's
audience?
let's crack this open. These are a week old now. They've been marinating in my. Um,
Crack these week old questions open.
yeah, I gotta scroll down, see if I can find them.
Have you
Uh,
guys ever had a residential client email you for an RFQ?
an RFQ, like they say RFQ. Did they
Yeah.
provide their own document
No, just
that you have to
RFQ.
fill out?
And this is a client that I did a small walkway along the side of their house 3 years ago, and that was during the pandemic, and I had very little interaction with them. Just at the very beginning, sold the job. They said, do it. And then I never saw them again.
Right on. That's the
Yeah,
best kind of client.
it was great.
Did they just like give you the
But
thumbs up through the window and then like slide the check under the door or what?
no, I knew they were home at the end of the job. I ring the doorbell to do a walkthrough, show them everything, but they never came to the door. So I went home, sent them an email. They sent the e-transfer. That was it. Says thank you. They even left me a review. They were awesome. But it's weird. I've never had a residential client ask me for an RFQ or send me an RFQ.
I one time we were closing it was a fair sized residential job at the time, back when a fair sized residential job was like 80 grand. And so we're like closing this job. And the guy asked me if he wanted to see my forces. He wanted a list of my forces.
Your forces?
And I said, what, like my lightsaber? Like,
Star Wars.
Fucking talking about? And he was a estimator for Black and Mac. That's what he'd done his whole life. So he wanted a list of our forces. And so I said, okay, like, he's like, I need to know that you can complete this work, because when Black and Mac is asking for you to, like, they're a general basically, and they're asking you to bid in on their tender, you could be bidding a $4 million item. They want to know, do you have the people, the infrastructure, and the equipment to do this item? What are your forces? So I said,
that's what.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never been asked about my forces before.
So I said, we bid a couple jobs that were like, one time we bid a job that was like $6 million or something, and they wanted a list of your forces. Some of the big snow contracts around here, they want a list of your like, they want to know how old your loaders are, what you're like, especially if you're working at the school contracts. I think they want to know all that shit.
Yeah,
like they want to know what.
Understandable, I suppose.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense, actually.
But this guy wanted to know our forces for his $80,000 backyard, and I was like, bro, we do jobs for like $1 million.
I could dig this shit by hand.
They'll think we have enough. Okay. But he
my
wouldn't.
Forces, I got a shovel.
He wouldn't. He wouldn't sign back the quote without me sending him a full list of all our assets and staff.
Did you pump your own tires a bit?
It wasn't my business. I just sent a list of what we had. I was like,
I would have pumped him a little bit. I would have sent him fucking everything except the kitchen sink. Like, I say, we got a fridge in the shop. We got
a fridge,
8 trailers, like they all have brand new jacks. We have 4 loaders. We have 3 trucks. We got 8 wheelbarrows, and 6 of them have new tires, like
6 of them. Just,
like new grips on these fucking wheelbarrows. Like, if you want to get into it,
I bought 4 hard tooth rakes.
Yeah, I'll play ball.
That's the only weirdest, not the weirdest thing a residential person to ask me, but that's one of them. Was like, I don't even know what you're talking about, man. What do you mean?
I didn't know until you told me. Now I know, though.
Because someone asked for your forces.
There's nothing I hate more than someone in the commercial construction world asking me for something and I have no clue what they're talking about. It makes me feel ridiculous, which, I mean, maybe it shouldn't, because I have no formal training in any of this. I'm picking it up as I go. So, I mean, like a couple of weeks ago, I read a document about the seed bank. I don't know what a fucking seed bank is.
That's where you donate your little bit.
I call the hydro seed supplier. I'm like, what the fuck is the seed bank? And Peter's like, oh, that's just the type of seed that's native in the environment. It would be the bank. The seed would typically, like, all the different types of seed in that particular environment that can grow around are part of that seed bank. I'm like, great, now I won't look like an idiot when the MTO asks me. Like, thanks for that. Yeah, I mean, you gotta ask the questions, but it's better to come in having them answered by someone who's not going to judge you maybe so much, as instead of having the client judge you for it, right? Because if the client judges you for it, you're fucked. You're already too late. You can't bullshit your way through anything else after that if you can't answer their questions to start.
No, that's true.
So put my tail between my legs, ask someone who maybe won't judge me, and then pretend like I knew it all along when I talk to the client. Right?
That happened to me. There was some there was some weird reference on something I was quoting, and it was like a 3-letter acronym or whatever. I was like, what the fuck this means? I called someone. I'm like, the fuck is this? Oh, I can't remember. And now I don't remember what it was, but I remember that happening to me too recently. And I was like, who can I call that I'm not like totally humiliating myself? Saying I
Yeah.
don't know what the fuck this is.
Absolutely.
You find the
Yeah.
questions, Chad?
Fire them. I haven't pre-screened these, so we're
Perfect.
gonna get what we get.
Love an unscreened
Um,
question.
Okay. Zach Sweet, our man.
Zach.
How to set up a residential job site to maximize efficiency? Like, where should I put the fork so I don't have to move them 400 times before the end of the job? I suppose that's different for every job, right?
Yeah.
Typically residential, what do you guys do? Do you stack them on the road? Your pallets? Do you
Not around
put them up
here.
down the side of the driveway? What's par for the course out there?
I do multiple deliveries if it's a bigger job.
Oh, we're doing that for the
Yeah.
first time ever. Yeah.
But it
I'll
doesn't
eat
take
the
much for us on the typical properties that we're working on, right?
yeah. Yeah. I've already clogged up the street. I got a trailer and an excavator and probably more equipment than I should have there, but we're taking a delivery in two for the first time ever, I think.
Nice.
So there's not enough room for it. But
I used to write off the whole front lawn.
that's
No, first thing I
Yeah.
did on every job when I started my quote, one of my first items, my first item is always bathroom. My second item is resod front lawn. Because then I don't got to worry about it. I
did they ever
store
try and
what I
piece you
want.
out
Who?
and the client and take out that line item for
Well,
resod front lawn?
I didn't put a line item in for it. If it
Oh,
was a bulk contract, like, if someone was just like, give me a price to do your job. If someone, I have a restoration item. Like if someone asked for an itemized contract, I have a restoration item. I would have included the front lawn in that.
Okay.
It got to be such a fucking headache with the municipalities. Like I would, if resodding the average front lawn was because you're already there and you already destroyed it. If resodding the average front lawn was $1,500 at the time, it's probably more now. No one starts sodding front lawns for $1,500, please. This was like fucking 10 years ago that I was doing this. So
or do it and then figure out how you're going to make money doing it.
kind of back the sod out and figure out how you're going to get it cheaper. Because we were already there, one time I figured out, I know the whole world thinks I never do any math on anything, but one time I figured out how much time we were spending fucking around moving skids on the road and all this bullshit that you have to do because you don't have a lot of room and taking smaller gravel deliveries. And I was like, man, if we had just like resodded the front lawn for $1,500, I would have saved all this time and been 10 times more efficient. So from that point forward, we just started sometimes the first thing we would do on the job is strip the front lawn.
Wow.
Show up, strip the front lawn, unload all our skids there. We could store all our equipment. We didn't have to worry about if the skid sat somewhere too long and the fucking grass died and you got to move it around because you have that ladder pattern going on the fucking bottom of the boulevard across the fucking curb. It was easier just to fuck it. And then the guys didn't have to worry because you spend so much time on a residential job trying to like save this little bit of sod. How much money have we spent trying to save this 10 rolls of sod in the backyard by walking around it and running machine? I'm like, fuck it, just rip it out or redo it. And we started on this road of there was no, we used to have like a plywood highway because you would just sink and destroy things and it's inefficient but we went down this road of, I was like, I don't care. I am including sod restoration for the whole, like anywhere on this job that we might remotely touch. And sometimes we would get away with not doing it, but most of the time and who doesn't love a freshly sodded lawn?
True. Yeah.
All our clients would be like so happy about this sodded lawn. That was, in my world, the way we ran things. The most effective way was to just demo the front lawn, and then I didn't have to worry about where we stored anything.
So you resod the front lawn. Would you take out a tree?
A municipal tree?
A tree that was in the way.
I would not remove a municipal
No?
tree. No, I'm good.
Okay.
I don't need that kind of heartache in my life.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just what we did. We just resodded the front. Because a lot of the municipalities here won't allow you to put anything on the fucking road, even with a permit anymore.
Yeah.
They're
We do
really
it and then
anal
ask for
about.
forgiveness.
They're really anal about saving the road. You could be damaging our road. I'm like, it's the fucking road.
Like, my taxes paid for the road. What do you want me to tell
They
you?
don't care. They don't care.
Wow. We do it and then ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Sorry. We didn't know for the 8th time.
Cornwall seems nice.
It's you
Do you
guys
know the
rag on
person
it,
that
but
shows up?
sometimes, yeah. Usually they don't bother, or I'll be like, oh, do you know this person from this, I don't know, other parts of other divisions or whatever? Like, oh yeah, we do a lot with this, and I like talk my way out of it and stuff.
Nice.
I don't know how I became such a talker. I don't talk to people.
Would you
Is your English degree?
yeah,
It
use
must be
it?
that.
I also think there was a time when I used to push re-asphalting the driveway
Ooh,
on every job. I'd be like, "You should re-asphalt your driveway." They'd be like, "Yeah, we should. Let's just include it all at once." They'd be like, "Yeah," and I'd be like, "Oh, good. Now I can fuck this driveway." We're tearing it out at the end of the job, anyways. I don't care. It's true. Like if you can convince people to
If you can
re-asphalt,
convince that, that's ideal.
like then you just fuck the whole driveway.
Yeah.
Dump shit on it, put a bin down, fucking bin rips it apart. No one gives a fuck.
See, I've told clients that your driveway is going to be fucked, but they don't believe you
I know.
until
Yeah.
it's really fucked.
And
And then what? Like, then in my world, the pool guy has to split it with you,
even though you never went on it.
even though I never went on. I'll take my mats and ride up the side of the grass. But
What if the client has an exposed aggregate driveway? What do you do then?
Never go near it.
never go near it.
I probably would leave and be like, hire someone else.
And no front yard, and you had to do a backyard patio.
No
Oh,
thanks.
Wouldn't do
Just
it.
pass.
I'd
Yeah.
pass. So,
What if it's the ideal project for you in the backyard, and you've always wanted to use the product and everything?
there is no exposed aggregate driveway. That's the ideal job for me.
No, I'm talking about the driveway's exposed, but the backyard
Uh,
is everything you've wanted in a project.
I'm knocking on the neighbor's door and asking if I go over the neighbor's side
Gotcha.
before I touch that goddamn driveway.
yeah, I wouldn't put anything on that driveway.
Yeah.
Because you can't fix it. You can't fix anything. You can't fix asphalt either.
I don't know why people do their front yard before they do their backyard.
It's cheaper.
They don't know. They don't. It doesn't
Well, I guess
cross their mind.
Yeah.
Anytime I've experienced that, people have had someone price the front yard and the backyard and then did the front yard because it was cheaper.
Right.
And then you end up doing the backyard. And when they call you for that and then bitch about what a horrible contractor that person was that did the front yard, you actually start to wonder, were you a horrible person? And why did you call? I've asked people, why didn't you get the guy that did the front? Why, like, this was done 2 years ago. I can tell by looking at it. So why isn't this person back? Why am I here?
Last year, I went to a consultation. We talked about it on the podcast here, where the lady had poured concrete everywhere, and it was an absolute mess. And she actually reached out to you.
She did, yes.
Did anything come of that?
No.
Oh, okay. You knew not to go.
I just said that, John. I think I told that lady, this job's like $100,000 or whatever. Like, it was stupid. I was like, this has all got to come out. Like, there's nothing savable here.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with this. Even if you are getting rid of all of it, I still don't want anything, because the fact that you allowed this to happen at your house means you're not someone I want to work with.
You've been negligent with your own property. I don't want to work here.
What good can come from it?
Yeah, you're not winning that.
But that's like, I'm being dead. One time I went to look at a pool. This was a long time ago, before everyone got ripped off building a pool. And there was this one person that got ripped off building a pool. And the guy had taken like $100,000 and had dug half the hole. And the homeowner is like freaking on me. And I was like, listen, I didn't do this. I don't care about it. I'm leaving. Like, there's nothing that can come here for good for me. This is going to be hell on earth because you're so pissed that you got scammed. Like, there's just no good that can come of this. Like, I've walked away from tons of shit. It's like, no good can come of this.
Right.
I still do it all the time. Like, people call me or I look at stuff and I'm like, yeah, no good can come from that. It's resisting the temptation. I think that's what separates me as a contractor now from when I was younger, being able to resist the temptation of stupidity. That's true.
I still can't resist it.
Well,
Yeah,
because
sometimes I can't resist it.
you're not old enough yet. When you're 50, you'll be I get sucked into it sometimes too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I still get sucked into the temptation of stupidity. I even know, I mean, this is really stupid. I should not be fucking doing this. And I'm like, it's gonna be okay this time. Oh, it wasn't okay. Fucking motherfucker. Like the temptation of stupidity is just so great in the contracting world. The hope that it's gonna be better, even though you know it's not. What's the next question, Chad?
Angelini's land. What's that say? Angelini's land management. When you started and how you grow over to get to where you are today. We're really into the details about hydro seeding and how you started and get jobs. Also, how you set up a hydro seeding crew to be efficient and effective. Well,
this is a Chad question.
This is a me
Chad
question.
Yeah.
Maybe I could have answered it through text, but if we want to talk about hydro seeding just quickly, I started by buying a hydro seeder and doing the work ourselves that we were subbing out because I thought it was ridiculous to go and I had inherited my first sod boulevard job and there was a bit of hydro seeding there for a line item. So it was like something like 200 or 300 meters and they wanted like $1,500 to spray it. I'm just like, that seems like a lot of money, but I understand now that it was site minimum. I'm like, we could probably do that cheaper. Let's buy a hydro seeder. So I bought one for 46 grand or something like that.
Oh my God.
And not like right after finishing the
I was
job.
really pissed about this $1,500. So I bought a hydro seeder for 46 grand.
No, because like it had come up in RFQs before, right? Like
No.
and I always had to say, well, I could do the topsoil, but someone else will have to spray it, right? The GCs want to know that you can handle everything. The less legwork they have to do, the more likely they're going to use you, right?
It just sounds so ridiculous. Like that's like saying my fucking bike broke. I better get a car for 100 grand. It's awesome, but no, but that's good.
But it's not untrue, right? Like all of us have had shit happen. Like the quick cut doesn't fucking start. You go at them, but you buy a new quick cut.
Yeah,
it's a $200 fix, but you just went out and spent $1,500 on a new one because you were so pissed off, right?
I also know the fix is only going to last 2 weeks, and it's going to blow up again, and then or it might last 2 days. And so, yeah, I agree. Yeah,
so right, like I could call this guy and have him spray the next one for $1,500 too, right? But it comes to the point where I'm just better off to bite the bullet, spend the 46 grand, and do it all myself.
Yes,
right. So,
well, it also opens up a new potential revenue stream.
Yeah, and
you already started it.
Yeah,
with your own work.
Yeah, we already. Yeah, so it's just very conducive to what we do to have a hydro seeder whenever we do a lot of soil work, right? Like it wouldn't make sense for the interlock crew to have a hydro seeder necessarily if all they do is brickwork. I mean, it's potential, but you sort of want to transfer from brickwork to soil work to hydro seed and not straight from brick to hydro seed, right? Like you want to make the steps to.
After getting over the initial shock of the $46,000, it's actually a pretty cheap way to start a new revenue stream.
Absolutely, right?
Like realistically, because you already own you have to own the truck that tows the hydro seeder anyways.
Yeah.
Like you got that, you have that for a million other purposes.
Yeah.
So
I would go as far as to say the tow behind unit is a million times better of an investment than a whole hydro seed truck for a fraction of the cost. So for maybe
I think that's
15,
absolutely fucking accurate.
For 15% of owning a hydro seed truck, I can do it with a trailer, and it may take a little longer, but I also don't have to be hydro seeding every single minute of every single day that I can to pay for the goddamn truck, right?
Well, you paid 46,000.
Yep.
So without interest and tax, it's $1,000 a month for this thing, basically. With interest, same if you bought it on time.
Yeah.
So, so that means you got, say, 1,500 by the time you do everything times 12. So you got $18,000 here. That's what the hydro seeder costs you to exist every year, right? Like when you're paying for it. So if the average job is $1,500, that's for a small job.
Yeah.
Really, like I know the seed and the mulch stuff can be expensive and the labor, but like you don't have to do that many jobs to recoup the cost of the hydro seed.
No. Well, no. As long as once you get over the learning curve and all this stuff, and like it's not as simple as just having the hydro seeder and going out and hydro seeding, right? Like you're filling an order for bales of straw or wood or paper fiber and stuff like that, and you're keeping grass seed on hand. Like there's a lot of moving parts here. Hydro seeding isn't just you wake up in the morning and the truck's full and you go and spray green, right? Like
well, so what you're trying to say here, Chad, is that something that someone else is doing might not be easy.
Absolutely.
And it's just everyone assumes that whatever everyone else is doing is super. People are like, I'm going to get in the bin business. I'm like, I wish you luck. I think that's fucking great.
Yeah.
Go for it. Like the same thing. Yeah.
We had our partner does bins, right? And we had our garbage bin flipped today. Brought a new one, took the old one away, and just like that was way more efficient to have someone else do it than it ever would be for me to do it. Like it's just so much more worth it to have someone else do it sometimes, right?
Well, when someone's doing something as a business.
Yeah. Yeah. But if it were $1,500 every time you had to flip that bin, then I might buy my own bin truck. But because it was only a couple $100 or whatever, then it's absolutely worth it. Right. And I don't know.
How do you set up an efficient hydro seeding crew, Chad?
You fall ass backwards into luck and have one of your best friends from high school come back from working in Alberta where he hydroseeded airfields.
And you hire him?
And he just miraculously walks back into your life after being gone for 15 years.
Wow.
As an equipment operator, as a truck driver, as a hydroseed guy. Like I got lucky for that one. But
I don't think anyone I know from high school is hydro seeding. So
no.
I feel like that's a pretty fucking like that was pretty fortunate. I think you're fucking right.
Yeah, Shane is awesome. Like he didn't he probably knew more about the thing than I did, right? He works in the oil field. He can deal with all these pipe wrench problems and things clogging and all this stuff that I would set the fucking machine on fire if it happened while I was doing it. He's like, oh, you got to do this and do this, and it's like, holy shit, thank God you're here. Like, you are the exact reason that this is a profitable operation for us. So
you recommend everyone finds a Shane?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
I don't know how much that helps the guy who asked that question.
No. It's
unless he's trying to find your Shane.
Yeah, no, he's not for rent or sale. But if there's anything else, Antonelli, whatever, what's his name? Angelini, feel free to reach out to me. we can talk about hydro seeding. It's like making a cake, right? Like uh, you got to mix different batches and different ingredients and stuff like that. Just depends on the size of the machine, and there's cheat sheets for all that stuff. But everybody seems fascinated by hydro seeding. And it can be great, but it can be a real pain in the ass
Well,
too.
because it's one of those things that people look at and say, that seems like something I could do.
Yeah. I always thought it was cool to see the green come out of the can and just stick to
It's pretty cool.
the fence.
It is
And
It's
cool. Yeah.
what is that? Oddly satisfying. I think
you think that's it?
that's a
Yeah.
It's
trend.
ASMR.
That's something like sound or something.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Mercedes
Mercedes. What else have I got here? I don't know. Fill the empty
with.
space.
Oh, I've got one
I'll
here.
find something.
Okay.
It's
Go
just
for
going
it,
off the
Mike.
top of my head. I can't remember who left it, but it was. Do you guys, when you are doing jointing sand or
Oh
poly
my
sand
God.
in wet cast product, do you compact it? Here it is. Do you compact wet cast pavers when applying poly sand? Seven Brothers Landscaping.
Wet cast pavers, like the lock uni stuff.
Well, any wet cast paver. I think
Well,
every manufacturer
Block
has their own,
Techo
right?
has a wet
Do
cast
they?
paper too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
Mika?
Mika.
Oh, Mika. I've used Mika before. I like that stuff.
And then
Yeah.
Borealis is also wet cast.
Oh yeah, I don't like that stuff. That's not the nicest fake wood paver there is, by the way. And
No?
I'm a Teco guy, but
What's the other?
I think your buddy there, PK, doesn't Best Way make something?
Best Way Balsam is a nice product.
That's
I agree.
absolutely beautiful, that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a nice.
Yeah.
I've done a couple patios of it. I think it's a nice product too.
Yeah.
I think it has a really deep texture.
Is
Yeah.
it wet cast?
No.
No,
So
I didn't
it's
think so.
standard. It's face mix. But
Yeah.
it's standard press. It's a nice paper. The only knock I would say on it is the joints are too small.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
It's a bitch to get sand into it.
Yeah.
It really
Agreed.
is. I would say that's the only thing I have. We did have quite a few. Well, our job with it was on the cover of the Best Way catalog. Like it's beautiful. It is beautiful. Chad's right. It's beautiful. Yeah. I
Visit
think
and
that
play with it. Beautiful.
I think the only thing I would say is that the Borealis version has more truer browns if you're looking for wood. Like I feel like the balsam is not a traditional wood color. It's a wood plank, but it's not a traditional
Yeah.
wood color.
More like an
Whereas-
aged barn.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
gray.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's the only thing I would say. But they're both. I like the balsam a lot. We did quite a few projects with it.
Is Best Way beyond Ontario?
They sell in the States, I think.
Do they? Wow.
Yeah. They make nice stuff. They're also good people. I've known them for quite a while. Well, I don't buy pavers anymore, so they don't care about me anymore. That's okay. I'm not devastated by it. So for me, like we did a lot of travertina, which is a wet cast slab, right?
Oh yeah.
We did a lot, and we did some Borealis, and we did a lot of copthorn because that's wet cast.
Aberdeen.
Quartzstone, Aberdeen.
Oh, yeah.
We did all that. Well, Aberdeen when it first came out had a green.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oceana? Was it Oceana or
No,
was
it was literally a green. Like
I
it was because
remember
it was
it.
wet cast. It was green,
Yeah.
and Oceana was a greeny gray color that came in like the Walt Mini Creta and
Yeah.
some of the pavers. I have it at my house.
Oh, wow.
In the Manchester blocks that make the pillars in front of my house.
Yeah.
Anyways, we always compacted it. We used to do it this was pre-roller packer. So we used to do it with a half vibe and a lot of filter cloth.
Mm.
So half vibe and 16 layers of filter cloth, baby.
Ah, fuck.
Or an old piece of carpet. Old piece of
Oh.
carpet never. Old piece of carpet will never do you wrong.
I bought a packer with one of those mats. They're like a Teflon mat or whatever, but the bolts kept shearing off because of the
Yes.
vibration. So we fucking welded the mat to the plate packer, and that was the mat packer forever, and that was it. And
You have a roller packer now, don't you?
yeah, so we sold the mat packer and bought a roller packer.
Do you have a roller packer, Mike?
I do. Yeah. I love it.
They're misleadingly heavy for
They
what they are.
are.
They're
Yeah.
ridiculously
Stupidly
heavy.
I've got
Yeah.
the smallest one. It's
Yeah.
heavy as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
stupid. The first one I was ever near was the biggest one
Ooh.
because
Yeah.
one of our clients bought it who had like 25,000 square feet to fucking roller pack. And the thing, like, two of us couldn't lift it. We're like bobcatting this bitch on and off the truck. What the fuck is up with this thing? Why does it weigh so much? They do work great. I do not own one.
No.
But you don't do paperwork, so
Not a lot. We still have like 2 tool trailers full of paper shit.
Hmm.
Those are assets we're not putting to. Mike's question: did all your stuff go to work? I can confidently tell you that stuff hasn't gone to work at all. All our machines are out right now, so I'll take that as a win. And the 8-ton that we got that we didn't really want has actually worked a lot this year. So I feel like that was a win. It's worked a lot since we had to borrow all the money back against it. So there's that.
You got another question there, Chad?
Nope.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah, I'm looking. I can't.
I thought you had lots of questions.
Yeah, I thought I did too, but then I probably opened half of them and then I can't find them again. And
Okay.
I'm trying to source soil for a job that's happening next year. And
I think we're at our 2 hours anyways.
wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we started late.
7?
What's your last topic, Mike?
Oh, you want to go down a rabbit hole?
You said you always have topics. We need a 15-minute rabbit hole here, Mike. Pick a
15-minute rabbit hole. Okay.
Shoot a topic out.
Well, now I need some time. I wasn't expecting this. Putting me on the spot.
You said I have topics ready. You didn't say give me a pre-game topic warning. You said I have topics ready. So pick your topic.
All right. How
many Android users do you have on your crew, Chad?
Too many. I think like 4.
4 out of what?
8.
4 out of 8.
So half. Oh, actually, maybe more.
I feel like Android users in landscaping are growing.
Yeah.
There's a big growth. It's a growth industry, Android users in landscaping. We have,
Why?
I don't know. I just noticed a lot of growth in the Android market. Would you use an Android?
I tried before, yeah.
I tried too.
I had
Why
one
did
for
you
a while.
try?
What do you mean? What did I try?
Why did you
Because I
try
was
it?
pissed off that my iPhone stopped working, so I tried an Android, and it was just silly. Like it was it would unlock in my pocket, and then it wouldn't unlock when it saw your face. You had to put in the code every time, and it was just.
I've never used facial recognition or fingerprint software. I'm too big a conspiracy theorist for that shit.
Your avatar is your face. Or a picture of your driver's license.
Right.
I think they've already got you.
No, you guys. I've never. Have you opened your phone with your fingerprint?
Yes.
Yeah, they don't have that anymore though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, now you just look at it. Now it's your face.
I've never used any of that technology.
Mine doesn't
iPhone
even
7
have a
doesn't
little
have
the thumb thing on the bottom.
Shocking, Mike. What was your Android user experience like, Mike?
I didn't mind it, but when I switched to iPhone, I loved it. I love the iPhone over the Android. It was back in university. and I kept on losing phones back then, so that also was a negative. Not against Android,
Left
but
them at
as
your
soon as I
client's house.
switched to iPhone, I never lost an iPhone. So
I had a BlackBerry.
I had a BlackBerry, a couple of them.
Yeah.
I had a BlackBerry, and then when the very first iPhone came out, like iPhone 1, I had that phone, and then I've only had iPhone since.
I put together some BlackBerries. That was a job I had for a week because I had a tuition bill coming up and I wasn't working at the time. So I went and temped at BlackBerry for a week and then said goodbye when I had my week's worth of pay and was able to pay my tuition.
Did you put the ball in, or did you
A
have
roller ball.
So it was their touch screen. It
the
was the
touch screen
one.
that was
Yeah.
after the ball? I had the
Yeah.
ball.
So it was like their last foray into the smartphone market to compete with iPhone, which failed. But yeah, I put together those phones. It was kind of fun.
Are you personally responsible for the failure of BlackBerry?
They were all recalled.
Oh. We have 1, 2, 3. We have a whole crew of androids.
Wow.
Yeah.
So whenever we send out a group message, all the Android users respond separately to the group message.
Those are
Right.
old Android. Those are old Android phones. Then the new ones will stay in the group.
Oh.
Yeah. We have one. So I'll count them down. Let's do a fucking countdown of these fuckers. Christy, Kyle, Ricky, Bill, Steve are all motherfucking androids. That's 5. We only have 9. We only have 9. 5 are fucking androids.
Wow.
The whole crew, except Drake, is fucking androids. Like there's 5 androids in Drake. He's the lone island of Apple over there. Like the whole crew is fucking Android users. Drivers are different. Cody and Darian are they're using Apple. This is the kind of content that people come to. Like, this is
we're in our worst hour.
This is the kind
At the
of
very
content.
end.
This is the kind of content that. Did you get a topic, Mike?
I got something here.
Perfect. Bring it on.
So I don't know what I put into this Facebook group. This is back from August 4th, and I took screenshots of the responses, but I didn't take a screenshot of what I asked, so I don't remember what I asked here.
Perfect.
So we also have to.
Let's reverse engineer it.
Yes, exactly.
You got the price. Let's find the question.
So I'm gonna give you some responses here. We had to find out what I asked and give them a response because they're not questions, they're just statements here. So clients asking to negotiate on price, how to establish set times to discuss. I think that's one point. And then the next point is how to establish set times to discuss project progress and best practices for communication in general. Clients asking to negotiate on price. Okay, so I think I'm guessing I asked, this great content. I'm guessing I asked, how do you deal with certain situations? Clients asking to negotiate on price. That makes sense. How would you guys handle that situation?
I always say the same thing. If you want to negotiate on a price, then take something out of the job.
Yep.
What's the least important item in the job? What's going to give you the least ROI? Because if the job needs to be less, I understand that. I respect your money, but I'm not just doing it cheaper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same. So then how to establish, where'd that go? How to establish set times to discuss project progress and best practices for communication in general. How do you guys communicate with your clients, especially for larger projects? Do you get their numbers, text them, email them? How often do you do it?
I try and speak to them on site as much as I can. Yeah. Like I'm a big fan of talking and walking through during the job, whether it's residential clients or commercial projects with engineers and stuff, like I tell them, if there's something that you don't like, I want to hear about it now. I don't want to hear about it in an email in 2 weeks, right? Because that does nobody any good.
I try to do the same thing, but if it's important, I'll also send them an email at the end of the day of like what we talked about, and especially if there's a change order in there or something.
Yeah.
To get something in writing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we used to always email change orders.
Yeah.
And cost.
Depending on the client, I'll shoot text back and forth. Like, hey, did you get your gate in or whatever? Did you get this moved overnight?
Fuck
We did this
gates.
today. What do you think?
I rarely text, so I don't.
I like it. I just like to have something.
Yeah.
I'd rather text than call.
Do you have a work cell phone and a personal cell phone?
No, I'm not a drug dealer. One cell phone.
I'm just saying that's why I try not to text, because I just got my personal phone.
I am natural design, so what does it
So
matter?
So I just, as a devil's advocate here, you try not to text because it's your personal phone.
Mhm.
So you find texting more intrusive than phone calls?
No, I do email.
So you don't give out what if I want to hire, I am a hardscaper and I'm not a YouTuber. What, I can't phone you?
You can phone me, absolutely. Yeah.
On your personal phone.
Absolutely.
But
I won't encourage texting, right? I will let them know that I email, and I'll email communication.
I get awesome texts. This is a great text that I got today. Where is it?
Well, I got a call from the 10X event today.
Did you?
I missed it though. It went to voicemail. It wasn't automated, it wasn't a robot or anything. So they have somebody calling people and trying to close me on it.
That's the first step. That's bottom of the pyramid.
No, top of funnel. Yeah.
Would you say that like they didn't call you till 6 days later, 7 days later?
Yeah, that's a long time.
Would you say that's because they thought the event was going to sell it faster than it is?
I don't know. Maybe they're trying to fill up spots that people bailed out on.
I don't know. Well, that's what did they think it was gonna? So I got a text today from a number that's not in my phone. So this is just a random number. It says, call Steve refill site as per Robert. That's all it says. Call Steve refill site. And then the next text is as per Robert. But I don't even know who the fucking person texting me. So who's Steve? Who the fuck is Robert? Neither of these people I've heard of at all about a fill site. I don't even know what this is. This is the kind of text messages that I get during the day.
Is Phil another person?
Could be. I also have a client. Maybe
Robert and Phil.
Well, it's FLFIS. I also have a guy. He's a client, and he must have an employee who's named Mike. And so he texts me on Saturday, morning, Mike, with a sun emoji. So obviously he's a happy guy. What were your hours this week? I didn't respond. I don't think that guy needs to know how many hours I worked. And I hope that someday he would clue in that he's texting the wrong Mike. Then he texted me this morning at 8:18 a.m. Morning, Mike. This is some guy that has a fill bin at our job. Like we dropped a fill bin on his job. So I text him back, good morning. Then he texts me, hi, Mike, new toy. When are you here? And a picture of two guys shoveling. I text him, maybe wrong Mike. Because I was like, I don't know where this is going about a new toy and a couple shirtless guys shoveling. So I think that I need to shut this shit down and just, I need to end this here before it's like, hey man, do you want to screw my wife, Mike? Or some shit like I just And the new toy is a corded hammer drill to break out the clay.
To break out clay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's the new toy. I don't know
Was
why.
there an emoji that went along with the new toy?
Oh,
Another
maybe
sun emoji.
there wasn't. So, all right, is that enough? Are we done?
I think we're done.
Did we fill enough time here talking about androids?
We nailed it.
Who on our crew uses androids?
Oh, one thing we can say is that I'm all caught up on scheduling our episodes on YouTube, and they're going to run all through from now until the end of November. So if you want to catch up on podcast episodes and you want to see our faces, go to our YouTube channel, Not Our Finest Hour, and you can follow along the episodes as they publish there.
Wow.
Chad's also promoting weird hats in the merch store.
Wow. That one's slipping past me. What do you mean? Oh, the pointy
Yeah.
hat.
You're
Gotcha.
like, this hat's available in the merch store.
Do you think we
So,
can get one of those?
I don't know.
I doubt it would sell very well.
Help us. If there's any way that someone can help us reach our goal of getting to 12 million in revenue so we can get censored by the government, we would vastly appreciate it. Not because we want the 12 million, but because we just want to get censored by the fucking government.
Be careful what you wish for.
Oh, they're coming for all of us. They're
Yeah.
coming for us. They know we talked about him in a bad light. They know. Someone reported us. All right, so that's the end of the podcast. Bye.